Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
How we doing?
Yeah, really well, mate. It's Wednesday.
It's
half
It
7,
is.
and it's spiritual talk time again.
We're back on. We're back on already.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gone so quick, hasn't it?
Always does. We say it every week, and we're still surprised by it.
Absolutely. And Nige doing really well, on course for promotion.
Oh, lovely job,
mate. Got to get my football bants in.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane. Jane's in already. Everyone's coming on, so everything's working tickety-boo. That's a great word. Mate, tickety-boo.
Rebecca. Good to see you.
Anthony.
Yes,
come on. Indulge me. Tickety-boo. Come on. Great word.
Yeah.
You're not having it, are you?
No.
You're not having it.
I can think of another word better than
that. We'll see. Okay, mate. So
lots of lovely people coming on already, Paul.
Yeah.
Flying already. We haven't even started. But here we go.
Hello to Helen. Yeah, Helen and Kelly. Hi, girls at Adam Brooks. How we doing?
Hi, girls. Good to see you. I hope you got your laptop out in the staff room.
Sue as well. Sue Clements. How are you doing this evening? Pat as well. Hi, Pat. Judith. Excellent.
Hi, Judith. Hi, Mary. Good to see you. Hope Peter's with you.
Mate, you might all notice the microphone as well. That's not my impression of a Radio 2 DJ.
Oh my God.
Fingers crossed my sound issues will be gone this week.
So there won't be any people saying, shh, Paul, this week.
No. Oh, you mean a certain Rebecca Ward. Yeah. Hi, Becky. Nice to see you online. Yeah. So,
hi, Kelly. Lovely to see you. Hi, Mandy. Lovely to see you. Hi, Donna. And we're getting our regulars back again, and we've got some new people coming on already as well.
Good to see you. Yeah,
the message is getting out there, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah. Hi, Sally. Mate, do you want to talk about this week's guest?
So we last week, first of all, once again, Monique. Oh, it's unbelievable how good that lady is, and I can't wait to work with you and her when this lockdown is finally over. I know it's coming down, but yeah, America, Canada, here we come, eh?
Absolutely. And I'm hoping Monique's going to work with us over here as well sometime. So there's a couple of charity events I'd like to invite her to if she's up for it. So it'd be really good. Yes, mate.
So yes, another lovely guest this week, everyone. And Paul's championed a bit to ask this lovely lady some questions. I know I am as well. But lovely lady this week called Chris Olney. I know most of you have seen the poster that we posted on Facebook over the last day or so. Lovely lady. I've had the opportunity of knowing Chris for over 4 years now. It's probably longer, but it's definitely over 4. Lovely lady who deals with shamanism. So if a lot of you don't know what shamanism is, I can't really do it justice by explaining it, but it is a lot of it's to do with connecting with the earth, connecting with nature, connecting with what's known as power animals, and giving thanks basically back to spirit in a much more pagan, connected way. But like I say, that's my best way of explaining it. But sooner ado, we'll bring Chris on. She'll also bring on a lovely partner, Nick, at some point as well. So they do work together with what they do. So lovely lady, lovely partnership they have. So over to you, Paul.
Mate, I was just going to say a big shout out to Shantae. Is it in South Africa?
That's hi, Shantae.
Yeah, brilliant. And so should we bring Chris in straight away? Should we just do it, mate? Let's bring her in, shall we?
Bring her in.
I can't be doing any more football talk as well, so let's bring Chris in.
I've had enough of that. Hi,
Chris.
Hi.
Good.
How are you?
Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Pleased to be here.
You're very welcome. So I've not really done it justice about shamanism, but I've tried to introduce you to the best of my ability to everyone.
You did brilliantly.
We've got loads of people on here already, so that's fantastic to see all the comments. Just on your right hand side of the screen, Chris, you'll see comments and you'll see the people there, we'll both throw the questions up on screen for you as the evening goes on.
Hi Sue. Hi Sue.
You know some people already.
Yeah.
So, Chris,
I saw Victoria just now as well.
Oh yeah, Victoria's on here.
I saw Victoria. There she is. Hi, Victoria.
And your mum.
Yeah, she's on. She's always on. Right. Okay. So first things first, Chris, tell us all about
Jackie. Hi, Jackie.
Say hello first.
Hello's out the way.
Yeah, we'll get a hello out the way. Hi, John, as well. Good to see you, mate. Lovely to see you all. Okay, so yeah, first things first. Tell us about your journey, how you got into what you do. I understand you do a number of different spiritual things to help people.
Yeah. I mean, my journey started when I was a child. Really, I spent most of my childhood, my parents going around the country. Visiting ancient sites, and my father was he used to write on sacred geometry, flying saucers, and lots of spiritual things. I was kind of steeped in it right from the beginning, really. And but in more recent years, I started off by sitting in circle, and actually with Sue Tyrrell, who sadly died recently.
Late Sue Tyrrell, yeah, lovely lady.
Yeah. And from there, once moving on, really, I kind of, once I met Nick, we both felt really drawn to the shamanic path. We started off by going to a wonderful teacher who did Siberian shamanism. That's so that's how we started. And then we felt really drawn toward doing the Native American traditions. And we went and learnt our craft with two very experienced, lovely people that Native Echoes that we learnt with them. And from there, we kind of were. Spirit started saying to us, "You've got to go and do this. You've got to go and get out there and start teaching this." And actually, we did start doing do psychic development classes. So that's where we started. We had the opportunity to go and do that. And so that's where we started. And then the shamanism became so strong that we went into that in a big way.
Okay, so a lot of people who may not know what shamanism is. What does shamanism mean?
Well, shamanism. I mean, you can look at it in its way as almost being like the oldest religion, if you like. I mean, so many peoples from around the world had a wise person, a shaman, if you like, who would work with the medicine of the tribe or the peoples that was there. So what they have, what it is, it's an animistic belief. It's a belief that everything has a spirit, even supposedly inanimate objects. You know, the rocks, the trees, the rivers, everything has a spirit, and we can work with that spirit. We honor nature. We honor the ancestors. We work with them. We work with our guides and animals. The animal kingdom is just so important, and we work very much with them and their knowledge and their messages for us. It's
I'm just going to ask a quick question. I know Paul's chomping at a bit to ask loads of questions, but I'm just going to beat him to it. What's the difference between ancestors in spirit and spirit guides?
Well, ancestors are usually there's kind of a crossover, really, because you can have your ancestors as your spirit guides, but ancestors will be your the peoples that you've come down through your past lives with. Again, obviously within your within this life, in your family that have gone back, and past past ancestors personally, but also that sort of great long line of people who, you know, stretch right back into antiquity, that we all come from, that we all are of lineage, the lineage of.
DNA, really, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes, yeah. But I mean, spirit guides. I mean, as ancestors can be our spirit guides, but also, as you know, spirit guides can come in so many forms, in animal form, bird form, human form, or mythical creature form. So,
yeah, excellent. And there's a banner going across the screen at the moment, Chris. Sort of different things that you do with around the shamanic title.
Yes, yeah. I mean, healing. I mean, the drum healing, rattle healing, feather healing that we use. The crystal healing that I do it all gets brought into that sort of pot of healing experience and what we offer for people. And of course, also we offer soul retrieval as well, which really is a very deep help that we give to people who may have certain parts of them that have been lost through trauma, either in this life, maybe in a previous life. We can journey and ask our guides and our helpers to help those people to receive that part back and become whole.
That, Chris, I'm chomping at the bit to ask you more about soul retrieval. So how does that, is that like, you know, when people do regression and go into past life stuff, you know, is that what it is?
There is a similarity to it. I mean, personally, I'm only speaking from my own our own personal experience of what we do. But when I journey for that person, if they've got a problem, if they've got a certain sort of traumatic aspect of their lives that's dominating their life, that's stopping them from moving forward. So I will journey for them. The person will be there with me as well, just there so that I can be with them, very close to them. And what we do is we journey for them. We go and find, if we can, almost like the original wound, if you like. So so that we can then bring it back here into this life, and actually we blow it back into that person and replace it in them, so that they have that back in them and can be whole again and can move on.
Is that any type of trauma, like mental, physical, emotional?
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. All those things come up, and if I'm you know, blessed enough to be shown what their original wound is, then it can come in any form. It can come in, as you say, an emotional form, a physical form. Very often you find it's a very deep trauma, and at that point of a deep trauma, a part of the soul is sort of flies and is removed from the body. From the etheric body, it's gone. Yes, it's gone, and that person can go through many lives and many existences, probably perpetrating problems that they've had because of that. And at some point, hopefully, we can help them to recover from that and, as I say, move on.
So if I was sitting at home and watching this talk tonight, one of the questions I'd be thinking, would that be quite dangerous if I brought back a traumatic experience? Would I really feel that? Would it impact on my health? So, I mean, could you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, that is why we do the journey for that person. It isn't unlike a past life regression, because the person themselves does that. It goes through that themselves. Whereas the soul retrieval is that we, as facilitators, we do that for the person. Therefore, the person doesn't have to be a part of it. They can just be there, and we don't have to involve them actually in the journey at all. They sometimes get sensations, or they'll get maybe.
I was going to say, do they connect? Yeah,
they do very much. They do very much connect. But it's not their journey, and it's not actually their experience at that time of going and finding that part.
That's really interesting. I've been regressed before, and I did also have an experience that I came across. I don't know. I think it was 300-400 years ago, and that did actually help me on a physical level. That actually helped me. So it's quite interesting.
How did that help you, Paul?
I used to suffer with tight chests, and it's a bit of a long story. But I did a regression weekend, and it didn't work for the whole weekend until the last session. And the guy that was taking it was Paul Ambillion at the time. I don't think he even does regression anymore. I'm not sure, but he got me. I remember having this experience and seeing this flash, and it linked to, because I used to get really tight chests and breathing issues, and apparently I used to be in the Navy, and I got in a fight. Okay, some argument with some guy, probably over Norwich Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? The results, but it was 1754, so I don't think football was invented just yet. It was around about the 1750s, and this hot tar that was below deck that they used to put hot tar on the decks to waterproof them. Apparently, this tar had gone on into my chest and burnt through.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And since then, I've never had those kind of tight chest problems again. So yeah, touch wood, it's never came back. So that kind of felt that release it. So it was interesting to have that come up and come out. So yeah, some good work. Some good work.
Do you do that, Chris, in like one-to-one, or is that a group? You do that kind of work?
We do that one-to-one.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes, of course, you get people get very emotional, or there's an aspect to it that it's kind of a very, very personal aspect of the work. So we always do that with one-to-one, or in our case, actually 1-to-2, because Nick, if I do the journey, Nick will be doing the drumming for the journey.
So I know I've definitely had the pleasure of coming to one of, or even 2 or 3 of your drumming circles you do as well, and you're based in the Essex area, aren't you, Chris?
Yes. Yeah, we're at Elmstead Market near Colchester.
Yeah,
and we do our drumming circles within quite a close area to us here.
Yeah, I must admit that the energy by the drums and the different kinds of the instruments is not like generally musical instruments, is it? It's more to do with the type of instrument based on the shamanic principle. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Because we use rattles. We obviously use the drum, but we use rattles. But you can use within it. I mean, it's such an open thing, our drum circles. You can use whatever instruments you like. I mean actually we sometimes have people will play the Native American flute. So we have some amazing things happen with those drum circles. The energies, I mean, as you remember, it's just amazing. And such a wonderful collective feeling about it.
Yeah, and I must admit, I'm Paul, you need to come to one of these, mate. They are actually quite different to what you think they are. But yeah, I'll never forget that time when there was about 30 people drumming, and you could then hear Native Americans' voices in the background through the...
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing, mate. You could hear, there must have been like a group of Native American spiritual energy coming in, and you could hear them chanting from spirit through the sound of the beating of the drum.
That sounds amazing.
Incredible. You could hear them come into the room and chanting and doing their dances and stuff through the sound of the music. And I never thought that was possible, but when you hear it, you never forget that kind of thing.
That sounds awesome.
I mean, I don't know if you were there, Anthony, but we've also had things like herds of buffalo come through.
Oh yeah, I think I don't remember. I think I remember you telling me that, but I don't think I heard that.
Yeah,
but I remember. That's definitely tribal stuff.
I see a drummer, but it's not the same thing. I don't think. I used to play drums in the Secret when I was way back, because it's not quite the same thing, but I'd love to give that a go. It sounds awesome. There's a guy in Norfolk as well that does a lot of drumming session. It's really taken off. I know it's becoming really popular, drumming sessions. So yeah, no, I'd love to come down. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to have you come and join us. It'd be brilliant. Awesome. Yeah, we're hoping to get back to them very soon.
Yeah, that's what my question was going to be. When you do.
Yeah. Well, we're looking. I mean, at the moment, May is in our radar for starting up again with things. Hopefully, we, assuming we can, we'll be getting hopefully getting things up and running in May. We're also, apart from sort of the indoor ones, we've got a couple of possibilities for doing some outdoor drumming out in nature, which we hope to bring about, which will be absolutely amazing. So so that's, I say, that's what our hope is.
So does that change the tone? If you're outdoors, obviously, because you don't have the walls bouncing back at you? Does the tone of the drumming or the vibration of the drumming change around that, so it creates something different, if you like?
I imagine it. Nick, does that work? Nick's our drumming expert.
Yes, because obviously drum is.
You can't hear you, I don't think.
Can we get him to come closer?
Yeah, come on, Nick, come on. Come on. Hello, everyone. This is Nick.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Are you all well?
Yeah, all good. So we were just saying about the drumming. If you're doing it outdoors, does that change the tone of the drumming in terms of what it is you're picking up vibrationally, or?
Absolutely, because what you've got to imagine is that the frame drum is an animal skin, and therefore, obviously, that's subject to atmospheric pressure and dampness and things like that. So yes, the tone of the drum will change depending on where you are. In fact, if you are some of the guys that have come on tonight that are part of our drum circle, you'll get an answer to say he's always got a hairdryer, because I'm always heating up the drum if it goes slightly slack. But if you don't mind, there's one thing I just wanted to add, that one of the sort of Bible books for shamanism is called The Way of the Shaman, and that's by a chap called Michael Harner, who unfortunately is now passed away, but his life has been steeped in history of shamanism. And in fact, they've actually got he's got a foundation called the Foundation of Shamanic Studies. But what I want to say is that in his book, which came out sort of early 70s, and he was the first gentleman really to bring to the West. He brought shamanism to the West, and we didn't really understand what that was about. But in the book, there was so much skepticism about what the drum could do. And in there, he actually took it to a studio and had scientists analyze the drum, and they all came out and said, yes, the drum takes you into a different realm.
Yeah. Wow.
So do not underestimate what the drum can do, the amount of journeys that you do, and what it can do for you. It takes you into what the shamanism's official term is called non-ordinary reality. So when you do a journey, you go into three different spirit worlds that we go to, and the drum will take you. The drum is such an important instrument.
And what are they, Nick, those different worlds?
The different world is, we call them the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world. And the lower world is really much about nurturing. It's a place where you get a lot of answers. You go and meet people like medicine men, your spirit guides, your animal guides, and you get a lot of answers and spiritual activity in the lower world. If I just put a riser on that, it's not underworld. It's definitely not sort of you're going into the bowels of the earth to hell. You go on a journey into a tunnel and go into your own landscape, and they're beautiful landscapes, usually mountains, waterfalls, forests, and such like. Yeah. The middle world is about really sort of like the reality that we live today, and it has all sort of like the ancient sites in its view, and you can travel to those ancient sites. And usually the quest there is to sort of do rituals at ancient sites. And then the upper world, well, it is just truly amazing. The upper world is, if you like, I'm going to say this term, crystal castles. You can imagine you're way up in the clouds. You're meeting, you sort of probably travel with a bird, an eagle or something like that. And you're traveling through the clouds, but you're meeting crystal castles and things of that sort of nature.
Spirit. Yeah.
It's a much higher spirit. So they're the three worlds that we travel to and get our answers.
Yeah.
It's like different conscious awarenesses, isn't it? By doing that principle,
Totally.
and the deeper you come, the more you do it, the better you get. It's like with anything, isn't it? The more you do it, more
Yeah.
better at it.
I think a thing of talking about being outside as well. You really kind of earth. You really ground when you play outside, which you do get a very different vibe from inside. I mean, inside's amazing, but outside it is very grounding. And I mean, we did a lot of ceremony and work at ancient sites and stone circles and that sort of thing. And you find that you just connect into those energies. And if you're just drumming in a field with the trees, you just it's just a connection. It's an amazing connection that you get.
I hope to be doing that in a few weeks' time.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
I know Paul's thrown up the banner to everyone about taking questions, but just before we start doing that, if that's all right, mate, there's a few other things on that banner that Chris and Nick do that haven't been touched on.
Yeah, that's true. I'd really love to know about the Earth mysteries.
Yes, wow. So you do what's it? Earth mysteries.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, we've been on half an hour already.
So much.
Really?
It's gone so quick. Absolutely. So,
well, what's Earth mysteries and psychic questing, guys?
Well, Earth mysteries really, as we were talking about ancient sites, is for us to go to ancient sites and try and get firstly in touch with the site, because every site has what they call a genus loci, which is a guardian of the site. When you go to these sites, even if you're doing shamanic work, when you go to the site, you've always got to ask permission from the genus loci that you can go into the site and do whatever you need to do. So we go to these sites, for example, and do meditations. We do a lot of work with dowsing. We douse for earth energies. So official term for that is ley lines.
Yeah.
And that's what we look for. And if the ley, because we've encountered many times that if you go to a ley line, I'm afraid there's a lot of nefarious people out there, and they will stop the flow or return the flow in a negative way. And so what we do is we go and try and reverse that flow and put it back as true, a true ley line. And so we do that with as I say, going out when we're sort of questing or doing something like that. Other Earth mysteries include obviously things like crop circles. Got to say, alien intervention. There's some places we've visited where we've encountered aliens.
Now we are talking. I'd love to know about all the alien stuff.
I think this is for another time. I think
we got time, guys. So we might hear about the alien stuff. Can we touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, we'll have to get you to come on as well another time to go through all that in detail too.
Oh, yeah.
Touch on it.
Just touch it.
Yeah, there's so much involved in it that it is really another a massive another whole thing that we'll take another.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the whole I just want to touch on it. I can't help it. I'm so like a child in a toy shop, but the whole it fascinates me. I've come across it in my mediumship as well. So I don't want to kind of go into that too much here, but I know it exists. I know it's a real phenomenon. I know a lot of people out there might be thinking Paul's lost the plot, but it is real.
It's real.
Oh, yeah. It
really is real.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we live in quite an interesting area with Woodbridge down the road at Rendlesham Forest. Some of the activity they had there, so it's quite interesting.
I hear you got a ley line going through your cabin, mate, in Norwich.
Yeah, mate, I've been getting quite a lot of physical phenomenon in here. And the other night I was talking to somebody online, and there was this orb. But it wasn't like an orb. You know, the bubbles, you get them big sticks that kids have, these really long sticks, and they make these massive bubbles. It's like a balloony type bubble. It just literally, I was sitting looking at the screen talking to someone. I had to look at the screen. I managed to turn around, and it was just going out the door. It was really interesting. But I have heard actual voices in here as well. So not just myself. So it's not me losing the plot. I have heard voices externally. So while other people have been here, so it's quite good. It's like seems to be building the energy because it's not been here that long. But I'm near the Ted Ellis Nature Reserve as well, and it's a great vibration, energy, and natural connection around here. Actually, one of the locals here said this place was a bit like a mini Bermuda Triangle. It's quite unusual for its energy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
That might be your Navy boat, mate, from the other life.
Don't knock it. Don't knock
Could have
it.
been the Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It explains a lot as well. Why I keep forgetting things. Why I keep getting wrong dates and times on Facebook. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go. You're being effective.
Yeah, with social media, things just I put them on, it changes or it goes missing. It really drives me crazy. So maybe it's that. That's my excuse, Anthony. I'm sticking to it, mate.
That's all right. I'll let you off if you're in a bit of a triangle, mate. So,
I'll tell you a very quick story. I used to live in Clacton, and I used to live near probably one of the oldest houses in Clacton. It's called Treasure Holt, and there used to be a gentleman there called Charlie Sandbridge. He was a lovely, lovely guy. He was a councillor for Tendring District Council, but he was the most, if I say nuts and bolts gentleman you'd ever meet. Nothing. There was nothing else. It was just, he worked for a living. He was a mechanic, and that was it. But he said one day, they had a vigil. They used to invite vigil because it's such an old house, and even Most Haunted went there with Derek Acora.
Okay.
One day he had a vigil with about 10 people there, and they were sitting around the table. And he was standing in the room just sort of observing. And he said, all of a sudden, down the chimney came this massive, probably the size of 3 dinner plates, blue orb just appeared in the fireplace and went right down the room.
Wow.
And he couldn't believe it. It turned him. He then believed.
God, yeah. Infinite possibilities, isn't there? So,
Infinite.
what about this psychic questing? Did we touch on that?
I don't think we did, mate. No.
All right.
Well, the psychic questing sort of comes in with the aspect of what we were just talking about, really, because we like what we do with the psychic questing is we will find out about the energies of a place, and we will kind of follow. It's almost like you follow a treasure map in its way between places. There are so many places that are connected, and in fact there are very many churches obviously built on very ancient sites. We do a lot of work between, so we work with the energies of those places. But as Nick was saying earlier, you can get some of the more negative aspects which still dwell within those energies of those places. A lot of our psychic questing it takes us to places that are connected, and actually sometimes you don't even know places are connected, and then it just you get those amazing synchronicities where you go somewhere and then something comes up and you go, oh, and now we've got to go somewhere else. We spend the sort of a day going around the different places, experiencing the energies, and when we're there we usually connect in psychically to whoever's spirit who's there, the energy of the site, and we see if there's anything that we can do to if the energy needs, like Nick was saying earlier, if the energy needs changing, or we just experience what is there, and we very many things. We've had a lot of vision of things that happened in places come to us, and we can, you can just sort of like, it's like pushing the veil aside so you can see what was there before, and we've been shown a lot.
Yeah, that can happen all over the world as well, can't it?
Absolutely. Very many people over the world. There are so many people who are doing that, though, that sort of aspect of questing.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of that. I know someone who did that in Greece, and they saw it all how it wasn't back in the olden days. That
was a great story. That was a great story, Matt. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. I need to meet up with him. I'll see if I can get him on here as a guest.
That'll be really good. That was a really interesting story.
Very unbelievable, this guy. Yeah. Stuff and what he saw, but that's for another day. But last thing before we go to questions, because they're all starting to queue up like mad. The last thing is, this was someone's question, so I'm going to use their question. I'm not copying, but I want to allow people to know what this is anyway, and that is the difference in, we do mediumship readings and that, as you know, Chris, Paul and myself. But channeling, intuitive readings, what's the difference in that style?
Well, I find that I do readings. I do often do, or I use oracle cards, but I tend to use them as, like most people do. You use them as a sort of a focus for the what's coming, what's coming through. But I tend to sort of call it intuitive, because I don't always necessarily find that I get people's, much like yourselves, you often receive from people's past relatives and ancestors and things, whereas I tend to find sometimes that it's more of a I get a lot of I do connect a lot with right energies. I'm very much connect with goddess energy. And my guide, one of my main guide in my life is the goddess energy of Bridget, the goddess Bridget. So I find that I receive, I channel. I do a lot of writing. I get a lot of poetry. I get a lot of writing, and I find that's all channeled through me. That's not me. It is channeled through me. I have done quite a lot of work with what's come through me is Taliesin, the Celtic bard.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going into a pagan sort of element now, aren't we?
Well, yeah. That's another aspect. The shamanic work. A big thing that we're going to be moving into working with, and it's been in a big part of my life for many years, is the Celtic sort of Brythonic past of our country, and that it all comes from the same source. It all comes from that same ancient source, and the myths and legends of Britain are very. I've worked with it for so long now that I know I've got to start putting that out as sort of classes and teach, workshops, that sort of thing, because it is a really big part of what we do. So that's kind of how I say about channeling, because I tend to channel in from all sorts of guides, and although I do receive from people's relatives and people who are coming close to them, I very often find my readings and things go into the your guides come in and who's there with them for working forward onto whatever their path is.
Yeah. We need to remember this, don't we, everyone, that the spiritual side of things isn't just giving readings for my loved ones in spirit. It goes way back. The spiritual energy has been there since any time, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're not really touching on religion. We're definitely keeping away from that subject. But in the understanding of energy and where things cross over from a teaching point throughout history, and like you say, using the history point as a marker and putting that flag in the sand, you're working from that going into modern day which is what what mediums do in giving messages to people. But this is thousands of years old, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, I mean, as you know, your guide. I mean, you guys, your guides come in. They've been around in their form for how for it's ascended masters. I'm sure you work with ascended masters and all those sort of energies.
Yeah. There we go. So lots to talk about, but we've got so many questions now, so I think we need to get through these. Otherwise we'll be here till midnight. We probably will anyway after the show, but I think we need to go well, it's up to you, Paul. You're the master of the ship on here. But you might want to go to the top of the list, mate, with the questions start. Well,
I was going to say, I've got also worth mentioning, I've got Katie helping me with the banners and the messages today, so I do appreciate your help coming into the actual studio, Katie, and helping us with this. It's trying to, hopefully it'll give us better messages later that we don't keep looking at the messages. So big thank you for Katie for doing that. There's been quite a few. I think you've answered some. Okay, so Victoria Wicks has asked, what is channeling intuitive reading?
If we can flash that up on screen, that'd be great as well.
Here we go.
Yeah. I think in a way I kind of was talking about that just now. I think channeling, it should be channeling, intuitive reading, because it's channeling and intuitive reading. So that's kind of how I refer to it as such.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just looking back at some of these questions.
Thanks, Victoria.
There was a great one here, if I can find it. Is there any kind of reading material people could acquire? Rhonda's asked, is there a book specifically on shamanism she could find?
Well, like Nick was mentioning earlier, The Way of the Shaman, Michael Harner. Sorry, going with teeth in. Michael Harner. That is very good. He about the core shamanism.
If you send that to us, Chris, we can throw it on our Facebook for anyone who wants to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. But also there are people. I mean, Sandra Ingerman is an amazing work within the shamanic sort of realm. She's incredible. I mean, she does a lot online. I know she does a lot of her workshops and things. I think she's in America, but her work is incredible. So she's very worth looking up as well.
I know we were talking about drumming earlier. Carol, hi Carol. Carol's asked, if you can't physically drum yourself, can you just attend and listen?
Absolutely. There are many YouTube videos, for example, that have shamanic drumming on them, and you also get as much energy from those drumming videos. There are also drumming CDs that are available.
If you come to any of our classes, we actually do you a CD of drumming, which Nick's done. So
we can give you if you decide to to a drumming circle, you can, if you ask, you can have a CD.
Is that in the cost, Nick? Is it?
Sorry?
No, I don't know where my CD went.
You didn't ask.
Oh, damn it.
But yeah, of course you can. You can probably, I would sort of say, be careful, but listen through headphones. You'll get much more of a journey through headphones rather than just having it on laptop or PC or just even on telly, for example. But yes, you can listen to these CDs, and they're fantastic. They're really, really good.
Brilliant. Awesome. So hi, Donna McKenna. She's asked, I'm from Norwich. Yeah, good old Norwich. And how do we know if you have a spirit guide, if she has one? How would she tell?
Well, when we're sort of teaching psychic development, that is all part of it. I mean, once you start to open up and start to understand how spirit works, you start to meditate, and that is one of the big things. If you really, there's the meditation aspect, can create your open channel, And then you start getting the synchronicities. You can start, very often you find, I mean, within the shamanic work, people will very, very often get a power animal that is their guide for them. And very often what happens, once they have received this power animal, they see it everywhere. They see it in magazines, on the television, in a book. Even if it's an animal that's in their own country, they can see it. They just see it walking by the side of the road or whatever. So you find that that spirit guides will make themselves known, but you've got to kind of be open to see them. Yeah. And I mean, as you know, meditation is a massive help to really open yourself up to get those energies and understand those vibrations as they come to you.
It's mainly in meditation, though, Chris, isn't it? That the people would
very often, yes, yeah. See, the meditation will help you do that. Within the shamanic work, the journeying that we do will bring you to so many different guides. You meet guides, and as you know, and a guide can be there for a reason, a season, or for life, really.
Yeah.
So the journeying that we do, you meet guides in human form. You can meet guides in animal form. You can meet guides in obviously bird form, in plant form, in rock form, in any way. So it depending how you work, in what sort of sphere you work in, as to probably how you can actually recognize. But as you say, meditation, if you're going to work and open yourself up, then meditation is really the key.
Yeah, and there's usually a number of guides, isn't there, Chris, that help with
absolutely. Yeah, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, it's sort of kind of, sometimes you get one guide that stays with you for your life. You will always be there with you. You almost like you feel like your main guide, your main, but there are so many that will be with you for certain things in your life. There are certain sort of milestones in your life, and you'll find that a guide comes to you to give you support and help at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I can just add something to that as well, don't make it difficult. Look for the signs around your house. If somebody's trying to contact you as a guide, it could be a recent deceased relative, maybe a grandmother, grandfather, or whatever.
Yeah.
Smell. If your grandfather smoked a cigar, smell the cigar. If you're for a specific type of perfume, keep smelling that perfume. Don't make it difficult, because once you get on a path, they want you to. They're very happy, so they're going to try and make as much. Make it as easy as possible for you to realise that they're around. You might come across a book which might have a letter in it or a postcard from them. These are all signs. You've got to watch out for the signs. It's very important.
That's a big thing for guides. Look out for the signs, and then
Absolutely.
you'll be more connected. Yeah.
I was gonna say, Nick, have you got your drum handy?
Yeah, we've got Rebecca asking about giving a small little display. So I don't know if you've got your hairdryer as well.
You can do.
You got your hairdryer.
What I was going to say was that within shamanism, there are certain beats, and in fact, we talked about the gentleman Michael Harmon. He explains it very well in this book of The Way of the Shaman. But traveling beat is usually around about 180 beats per minute, and then your healing beats go down a little from that to about 90 beats per minute, 80 beats per minute. So it's very specific what you want to do. But I can demonstrate the journeying beat.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Just give me a moment and I'll get a drum.
April said, come on, Nick, get your drum out.
Thank you, April.
No, she said, get your hairdryer out.
Oh, hairdryer out. Yeah, I need my glasses again. Get your hairdryer out, Nick.
So would I be correct in saying that it's to do with our beating of our heart would mimic a drum beat as well?
Yeah, absolutely. The healing beat is a lot slower than the traveling beat, the journeying beat, and it very often when we do our healing with the drums, it's a natural rhythm that comes in when we do our healing, and it is very, very similar to your heartbeat and the heartbeat of Mother Earth as well.
Yeah,
it mimics that.
Yeah,
well, I mean, it'd be nice for Nick to give us some drumming sounds. I'm not sure how it's going to sound for you guys at home. Hopefully it will work and not blow your speakers out if you're listening. Yeah. If you've got headphones on, you might want to turn them down a little bit.
Yeah, we don't want first eardrums on
we don't want any lawsuits for deafening people, but
give us all a flavour anyway. So that's what it's all
absolutely.
About. Actually, he's picked one of the drums, which is that a skin? It is a skin, isn't it?
That's a skin.
Yeah, he's got one of the drum skins which are already quite tight. Some of the other ones are a little bit looser, so I don't think he's going to need his hairdryer for this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I've just got my actual one that I made personally, and it's very flat, so I'll use this one. Are you ready? Are you okay to do it?
Yeah. Can you get in shot so people can see you, Nick?
Yeah.
We want to see.
No, it's all right. No, I'll be all right.
Lovely.
That's it.
Yeah, are we all right?
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit, so we can see.
I'll just give it a cut.
What? Where do you want to go?
I'll just the other way. The other way.
That's it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, what I'm going to show you, as I say, is the beat that we usually have for when we're doing journeying. It's 180 beats per minute, roughly. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that was great. Actually, that was great.
What's the other trick?
Well, when you're doing healing, it's really it's like a heartbeat. So we sort of my heart goes very fast, by the way. So we take it right down because as you're working with clients, for example, on a massage bed or something like that.
Yeah.
You're working round and you're only about a foot away when you're doing drum healing. You're only about a foot away from the client. So it's very loud, particularly obviously if you're going around the head area and so on. So you can't do this because it'll just drive them crazy. So just so that you get the energy of the drum going through the body, because you have one person at the head of the client, one person at the foot of the client, and if you're lucky, you'll have two other people, and they'll be going up and down the body with the drum.
Brilliant.
So you're clearing the chakra points as well, right?
Well, what happens is that when you're doing the healing, the drum, you were sort of asking, does it change? And the drum definitely changes. If you've got a problem area, let's just say as a ballpark figure, somebody's got a bad knee.
Yeah.
Usually, the drum will tell you it will probably go down in energy, and you have to really work hard to reimburse that energy to that area of the body. So the drum, either the drum, the rattle, or even the feather that we use, they always tell you what's wrong with the client, and then work on it as well. And also in I think I sort of said earlier on in the shamanic work that we can visit, we get our own personal medicine man. So while we're doing the drumming and working on a customer or client, we can ask the medicine man, is there anything that we can bring to this client so that they can take whatever they need, you know, maybe take a herb or a cream or whatever. And obviously, being professional, you have to advise them, but you're not a GP, so you must go and see your GP to ask if it's all right to take this herb or take this cream or whatever. But the drum or the rattle or the feather will tell you what's wrong with that client.
Sorry, I just went to get. I don't know where all our rattles gone. But anyway, I just thought we could hear the difference when we use the rattle as well.
Yeah.
It's a different vibration.
I think sometimes mentioned that in the comments.
Oh right. Oh okay. Is this for you, Rachel? Rachel? Yeah. So the rattle does the same as the drum. It can really pick out where problems are within the body. It's a more gentle action. Sometimes people can't take the drum. Sometimes can be a bit, especially if people have got kind of nerve conditions and things. That sometimes the drum can be a bit too much for them. Yeah. So we often use the rattle as well, and we'd rattle over the body and find the spots that we need to clear, find the spots that need more work, and help to clear all around in the etheric body, all about the people. And as you said before about chakras, clearing all the chakra areas.
How would you know where to go to which area?
It takes you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they literally take you, and you find yourself moving to the spot, and then you think, sometimes you actually find that the rattles and will draw down onto a point that really needs some sort of compression. It needs some help. And then of course the rattle also will you can use it to cleanse and clear your area, and as well. And we do that obviously, and also we call in the directions. We work with it in ceremony. We will call in the directions. We call in spirit, and we usually use the rattle to do that.
The Native Americans actually see the rattle as a communicator to spirit. That's their first priority, and so they use rattles all the time to ask spirit to come in, ancestors and so on. And that's what the rattle's for initially, because when we open up with ceremony on a class or whatever we're doing, we always use the rattle, as Chris was saying, to the directions. And what we're doing is when we open the directions, we're from each direction, we're asking all the guides and all the animals and all the spirit world to come through. I see them as gates. So I open the gates and I call in with the rattle, I call in all spirit. Who needs to be there at the ceremony.
And also about just something just popped into my mind about the north, east, south, and west thing you do as well.
Yeah,
that's the directions. Yeah,
directions are so important.
Yeah.
Because there's loads of associations with the directions. There's animals involved, earth, fire, air, water, and so on. Summer, seasons, colours, and stuff like that. So the directions play an integral part in the ceremony that we use, and how the evening goes ahead, because depending on who comes through, for example, in one of our classes we got to about, I don't know, lesson 13, let's say, and our Native American tribe that usually comes and joins us, all of a sudden they all step back, and all of a sudden the remaining classes were all taken over by Egyptian guides.
Oh wow.
So we were very upset about that initially, because we worked so hard with our Native American guides, but they didn't go, but they just let these Egyptian guides in. Yeah. And that's how the rattle can affect you with the directions.
Yeah.
Have you had photographs taken at the time where you're doing it and seen anything that's picked up?
No, we haven't. No.
Right.
That would be really interesting, actually. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this chap, Paul. We met at Arthur Finley from Cambridge. Can't remember his name now.
Thank you, Mandy.
But yeah, he did all shamanic stuff and had photographs taken. You could see the tribal elders coming over him. You could see the outline.
Oh wow! Yeah, that would be brilliant.
I don't know if you remember, Anthony, but when we were in one drum circle at a time, there was somebody sitting very close to you, and she got a bear come right over her. It was almost like a, you see the in old films where you have a lion coat.
Yeah.
It was like she had this bear cloak put over her with a bear head and.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So as you say, we get all of those type of things at drumming circles. It's just truly amazing.
So we've got your email and your Facebook contact details on here. So if anyone does want to communicate with Chris and Nick, and if they do live in the Colchester or sort of Essex area, if not, definitely can find more online or contact you further, can't they? So that's all good.
I mean, before, yeah, absolutely, please do, because before we had all the lockdowns and all the hoo-ha, we had started to look at, we were going to sort of like do some work more into Suffolk. We had some contacts in Suffolk, and we were going to start trying to do people wanting us to go up and do some our shamanic work up there and do some drum circles and things. So it's, you know, that we're quite happy. We're very happy to sort of, you know, expand into other areas as well.
Just keep clear of Norwich.
We've got a contact in Norfolk now. So.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You'll have to come up here, you guys.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's some great places up here to work as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. And lots of people are putting great comments on. You know, you've got this coming up. You know, it's really nice to have you guys on and to learn a lot more about shamanics and what's involved. But we're getting to that time this evening where we do messages. So can you believe it? We've been on live for an hour. It's gone so quickly.
No.
And there's been so many questions and we can't get through them all because we just want to hear you talk as well as ask questions.
Yeah.
Well, bless everybody. I hope you've enjoyed what's been said. And
yeah, they have. There's some lovely messages.
Beautiful
Thank you very much.
We're so grateful.
There's a lot of messages on here that people already know you, you know, giving you some really good comments as well.
I want you to come to Suffolk as well.
Yes,
so,
we will.
Well, we will. We'll try and get up there, certainly.
Yeah, we definitely
lovely
will.
Comments.
Yeah, lovely comments. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So would you like to give us any kind of connections you've got now, Chris, for the audience? Guys, if you'd like a message tonight, obviously like, love and share. I think it's my turn this week for the free reading Anthony giveaway, isn't it?
It is. Shall we get Chris and Nick to choose?
Yeah, we'll get at the end of the program. We'll get them to choose a name.
What's that? Sorry, what is that?
So both Anthony and I, we give once a week. One of us will give away a free reading to someone. So we'll pick a name.
Only a 30-minute one, by the way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's we enjoy doing the giveaways, you know, kind of rewarding people for coming on and listening to some of the different professionals out there, that kind of stuff that you guys do. But because if you're open for it, if you want to give a message, we'd love to hear you give message to somebody out. If you guys want to hear from Nick and Chris, let us know. Yeah, it's loads of yes pleases.
Please definitely put on there, shared, everyone, that you've definitely shared it. You've definitely shared it. We know you've shared it. Love, like, and share it, and then we'll definitely be more inclined to pick you out for a reading, and we'll get drawn to you with, of course, help from Spirit as always.
Okay.
Can I also say, guys, if this message is for you, stand by your phones and give us as much information so we can confirm the information that we're giving, so we can be specific. It really helps us that we don't go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
So, because it might not be for you. This is the thing. You could take a message and you understand a lot of it, but sometimes when there's key specific information that the medium's giving, it's really helpful if you don't understand that. You know, but then, you know, it's difficult, isn't it, in this format, Anthony, because I've done demonstrations where people have not taken the evidence and have come to me after a demonstration and said, "Oh, I completely forgot about that. I'm so sorry." So you know, we'll try our very best. That's all we can do.
Yeah, definitely. If we say something, everyone, you know, try not to sort of feed us too much, but definitely, if you can take a name, if you can't take a name, but you can take the name for someone else, just definitely keep the comments coming in when we're giving the reading, because there's sometimes a delay when we say something to when you then type the comment in. Okay.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. Excellent. Oh, lovely. Good. Yeah.
Awesome. So
we certainly like to come back. While this is building, we'd like to come back if you don't mind inviting us at some point.
We'll probably have you on the show again, because a few people, John, I can see on there, has requested you both to come back at some time too.
Maybe even just talk about UFOs. That's a whole program.
Yeah, another one.
Absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Too right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Susie Burnaby, for your lovely messages tonight as well. That's probably the third or fourth one now. So well done.
Oh, thank you, Susie.
We're blessed.
Do you know what? One of the things about our work is it's such a, we have met and have in our groups. We call them our tribe. Everybody who's come to work with us has been just amazing. Everybody's beautiful, lovely people, and we have so been blessed to meet so many wonderful souls in our time of working.
Yeah, lovely, isn't it? It's lovely to help people. That's what we love to do. You know, we're all individually different, of course we are, but we all do different things. Even every medium's different with their own characteristics, their own connections as well. That's why, you know, we're all different. But it's lovely to be able to do these talks every week and bring on different people, different guests, you know, who have got connections in the spiritual way, but have got their own paths as well, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've talking about saying about a message. I kind of I've been picking up through the I don't know who it is, but somebody through the people who are sort of scrolling up with their questions. There's somebody out there who's I felt very, very sad. There's a sadness with somebody out there, and I have a feeling it's something to do with maybe the passing of a grandparent who they were very close to. I mean, I know it's quite general. I have the thing is I've got lots of my guides are coming in as animals at the moment with kind of like sort of messages from them, and I got it's going to come out a bit weird, I think, but I've got this hedgehog that's come in with this person, because this person is curled up in a ball. They're absolutely don't want to face the world. They don't want to see what's going on because it's too upsetting for them. They're hiding away, and they're actually being incredibly spiky to anybody who's trying to help them, because they just don't want to face whatever's going on. I don't necessarily have a name. I kind of got like June, but I don't know if that's the month of or if that's a name. But there's something about their path that by the time they get to June, maybe June of this year, they're going to see their way forward much better. I'm not being terribly specific, and I'm not really getting a name. I don't know.
Anyone can take this information so far. If you've got an inkling and you feel that this is for you, definitely start putting some comments in the boxes for us.
Yeah, I kind of I'm seeing an I'm seeing there's a name just popped up on here, and somebody called Grace.
Grace Griffiths.
Yeah. And I would if Grace is open, I don't think it's the connection that I've just had, but I feel there's a connection with and again it is animals coming in. It's feeling like the animals are kind of lining up, going, we want to connect with these people. We are here for them. And it's a baby. It's like a baby grizzly bear. Oh, hello, Grace. Thank you. I feel there's this baby bear, a very kind of a very growly baby bear. There's okay. So that somebody's just saying that maybe the hedgehogs is obviously related to that. But so I got a feeling that the bear is also related to the aspect of being kind of, I don't mean spiky, but not being able to approach other people, or feeling maybe that they're not even worthy of somebody coming and helping them out, because they feel so they feel so hurt. They feel hurt by what's been going on. So obviously maybe that hedgehog is important, but this bear also is it's like going back to a child wound, a child wound within this person, and maybe that's you, Grace. I'm not sure, but feeling wounded.
Mm.
Not sure. We're not sure. Sometimes you can get a bit of a satellite delay on here, though.
Yeah.
So if that resonates with you, Grace.
Here we go.
Here we go. Oh.
Yeah.
So Grace, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right.
Possibly as well.
Okay. Possibly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So obviously the hedgehog has come in. The hedgehog is there. Maybe Grace is obviously taking that aspect of it, but I also felt there was maybe an aspect of child, the hurt child that maybe Grace is dealing with at the moment. I'm not sure if that is.
I think Gemma and Grace are connected.
They are.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah. So they're sort of family
Yeah.
connections on there.
Okay. Okay.
So both are communicating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she says that. So Gemma. Oh, okay. Okay. So perhaps I'm linking to you through the fact that I picked up on Grace, but now I'm linking to you, Gemma. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you're feeling the inner sort of child in you needs some nurturing. It needs some help. Do you? I have a feeling that maybe there's somebody you need to see to help you in your life, to help you move forward in some way. Somebody, a spiritual mentor somehow that you need to go and see, and that was for Gemma. So that's how I feel it. So.
Awesome.
Lovely.
Yeah.
They're communicating together, I feel.
Yeah.
And they're probably talking that through, and it does make sense.
That's fine.
Sometimes.
No, I can say, and that's like, yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. So maybe the baby bear then is the child struggling, is your child struggling. Perhaps it's also the aspect of you being having to be mama bear and protecting and and she's just said, and told Pastor Six. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Lovely.
And Grace too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm as I've obviously linked possibly to Gemma through Grace. So I appreciate you being there. Thank you. But yeah, I think they're reiterating this fact that and saying she's saying you need to go and talk to somebody, and you need to receive some form of emotional healing, and possibly maybe your child will need this as well. That so that again, this keeps saying about this moving forward, this moving. So you can kind of uncurl from the hedgehog and move forward.
There we go. So hopefully that was accepted pretty well there.
Yeah. It's kind of really different doing it online. It
really is. It really is so much more harder.
It's harder.
Yeah. Oh, Gemma, I hope you can find the person that will help you and give you that guidance.
Yeah, that's
brilliant. I don't know where Gemma is. Are these
guys are based in Bury St Edmunds, Chris.
Oh, right, okay. That's not a million miles away.
Suffolk. Yeah, it's not too far away.
Why don't they come down?
Yeah. Perhaps
it's only about 50 minutes away.
They're not far from Paul, are they?
Go to Paul. Why don't they go to Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was lovely. Thank you for that. Okay, we're gonna. Do you want to do one, Anthony, or do you want me to go?
I don't mind, mate. Either or.
No, nor do I. We've got about 20 minutes, so we can at least get two in at least. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, keep sharing as well if you'd like a message or like a free reading.
Oh, Gemma,
yeah, that's brilliant.
That'll be amazing. If you feel drawn at all, Gemma, then please get in touch, and we'll be very happy to hear from you. But
we already have people come to us from Bury St Edmunds, so
yes, we do. Yeah, we come to our classes from Bury.
So fine.
If you do a drumming, I'd love to come to the old drumming, guys. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When we get it going, we'll let you know, Paul.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay,
I can see you doing it, Paul.
I'll be well into it. It's not drum and bass though.
Exactly.
No.
Go ahead, man.
You've also got to sing, by the way, Paul.
Oh God!
I've got to say this.
Oh no! If I've got to sing, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. That's all I'm saying. So
it's like a lot of people say that, but we always say, well, the drumming drowns you out, so it doesn't matter.
We've just lost about 40 viewers when they thought I was going to sing.
Come back.
So, okay, I've got a gentleman with me. Do you mind if I start working, give this message? I'm not sure where I'm going with this. So, guys, please, if you understand where I'm, the gentleman that I'm bringing in, please just let me know. Okay, so I've got a gentleman here, really kindly man. And I need to say that because that would have been a part of his personality, that he was a really kindly and well-mannered man. And I do think with his kind of philosophy, he's also quite sarcastic as well. He's got a great sense of humor. But I do feel that really there was nothing too much trouble for him. I do feel this gentleman is making me aware that he passed with a longer condition. I feel it was a cancerous condition, and I do feel quite a few issues with this gentleman because of the cancer. I do know it would have spread around the body. This poor gentleman had cancer quite badly. I do feel this is very much a father figure with me, because I also feel that mum is in spirit too with him. So, and again, I very much feel these two are a loving couple together. They're together now. If they were divorced in life, I don't see that, because they've come in together very much in love and very much together. There's also another lady that steps in with them. I've got either an auntie or a sister here that connects to the couple. Does anybody understand a gentleman in spirit would have been dad in spirit that would have passed with cancer? Again, his personality, with this, okay, I'm not sure. I've just heard April, so I'm not sure if I'm coming to you, April, or this gentleman had a birthday in April, because I can feel the April connection. And this does feel a little bit familiar. Do you understand this, April, or the birthday around April as well? I don't know if she's listening, but I'm kind of feeling that with him as well. It could be Sally. Okay, I'm just going to keep going, Sally. It could be Susie. All right, so we've got a few coming in here. But again, the personality is really important here. How he's trying to describe himself about being so much of a kindly man, kindly, and nothing was too much trouble. Okay, Rebecca, it could be you. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just keep going. I do feel there was an April connection and passing, or birthday. Granddad passed with cancer. Okay. There's quite a few people that are taking this information, guys, so I'm just going to keep going. I know April was specific. Okay. I wasn't sure because April was on here and she popped up in my head. But I thought April was really significant in terms of the month. Okay, but I wasn't ruling out the name as well. He was kind, and this is April. This is the thing with his personality. This gentleman was really kind, but he comes in with mum as well. Would you understand both mum and dad in spirit? I also feel there's a very traditional sense with this gentleman, that he would have liked all the traditional things like his garden, and also just, although I've just heard this lady say that she nagged him. I do feel he was nagged a little bit and henpecked is what I want to say as well. But again, in good humor. There was, obviously we all have our ups and downs, but this couple were really solid, Really solid. I don't know why. I'm also getting an image of a wheel, like off a horse and cart. I feel that it was an ornamental wheel, either in the garden or near the house. But there's some kind of old wheel, if that makes sense as well. Okay, so Becky's taking like this information. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to keep going because I really want to keep.
Too many.
Because I'm also hearing his laughter, and his laughter was really quite loud. And I want to say a good belly laugh. Again, it's all about his personality and his sense of humor. But ultimately, he was somebody that loved quite what's the word? Help me with the word, please. I felt that his love that he brought through for the people around him, it was almost measured. Wagging wheels in front of their house, perfect. That would fit in, Sally, because I can see this wheel and I know it's associated in and around the house. But do you understand? He's really making me kind of push through his personality and who he was as a person. And I really kind of, and there's a message within that. Old cartwheel and okay. Okay. That's great. I'm not sure what that is on there. I'm just going to keep going with this. There's a real thing here about personality, and there's a story in the personality. It's about almost what he's trying to give me. I felt that this comes to you, and you'll know who this is because you'll feel this. I feel there's something in terms of how you are at the moment. There's something about remembering who you are. And remembering that, you know, having his genes and having that will and determination to carry on even when things are difficult. There's a real sense of that with him. You know, I do, again, great sense of humor, this gentleman's got. And I do think he would have played, I do feel, sorry, that he would have played, practical jokes. I was about to say that. What was funny?
Amazing.
Funny cameos on TikTok. That's amazing, Rebecca. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, absolutely. I do feel there was either birthday or passing around the April rather than it being a name April, but I do feel there was a passing in and around the April time. Certainly anniversary, because I know I know we're in April now. I do feel this time of year is very important to this person. I need you to know, sorry, I'm getting my words jumbled up from upstairs. Mum is trying to tell me there's wedding rings and her engagement rings. There's rings still here. Okay, I do feel they're not always worn. Sometimes they're on the dresser, but I do feel there's one ring worn and one not worn, if that makes sense. But I feel there's one ring worn all the time. Okay. Sally Spencer's put April the 8th. That's great. Okay. Do you understand the rings as well? Because most of all, this couple want to bring through their love and just that connection they had with you. Okay, and that sounds quite a simple message, but sometimes when we have been through difficult times, and this also did Dad have problem with teeth? Because I'm getting problems with my teeth as well. Yes, to the rings from April.
You can take the rings now.
Okay, well, okay. Do you understand the past birthday in April? April. Sorry to say that, but April. Do you understand it being significant in April? But the rings as well is really quite important from Mum. Okay, but there's also another lady that wants to be recognized with them. There's 3 people that have come in on this link. Synchronicity. Oh, thank you, Jane. Amanda, even. Would you understand the auntie or the sister? Yes to teeth from April. Do you understand the sister or the auntie in spirit? Because I'm very much being made aware of. I feel this is on Mother's side. Yes, passing in April. Okay. I feel this must be for you, April, because I was getting confused with the April. I know there's a passing. It had false teeth. Okay, thank you. Do you know what? If I had to throw my hat on someone, I'd love to be able to give this couple to you all. But my gut feeling is my psychic senses. I feel this is connected to April, especially if she can take the rings, the wheel in the garden, all really important pieces of information. Can I leave their love for you because we are running out of time, and I want Anthony to have a go as well because I feel like I'm stealing his time. Okay, mate. Thank you, April and Rebecca, and also Sally. Okay, thank you ever so much for working with me. And just take their love, because sometimes you get a message within a message. Okay, I think it's important to feel our loved ones around us, especially, you know, we're still in lockdown. But yeah, over to you, mate.
Okay. Okay. Well done, April. Well done, Paul. There. Okay. Well, first thing I've got a lady with me. I just feel she's such a peaceful soul. You know, it just makes you want to hug this lady. You just got this feeling, just very sweet, angelic kind of nature about her. A very sweet. Sort of, yeah, sweet nature, as I said. What I am getting attracted to is her hands. I'm really getting pulled towards her hands, and I really feel that this lady would have really taken a pride in having her nails done. She's been really showing me her nails. I don't feel that I would have she's taken me to the nail parlor, but I really do feel that she really looked after her nails. I can see them really clearly with this lady. I am getting she is making me feel very cold sitting here right now. I feel like I've gone absolutely freezing, even though I'm not cold. So the Claire sentence is kicking in. So cold feet, cold hands. I do feel this lady that she's telling me that she slipped away, meaning slipped away back to spirit. I don't feel it was sudden. I do feel it was a drawn out process before passing. Or the process of passing. And I do feel she's talking, and she's making me aware, she's talking to her daughter. And I feel the daughter is on the show tonight, watching the show. I am getting drawn to the names of Mary and also the name of Jane as well. So whether I'm really getting drawn to the Jane more so, but I do feel that this lady's got a connection or the meaning of the name of Jane. If anyone can take that so far. I am getting pulled to Mary as well. So if I'm talking to a Mary on here, then that's absolutely fine. There's a few Marys on here, but I am seeing the name Mary drawn in my head with a pen. Okay, Victoria, that's fine. If you can take the names, that would be even better. Mary Parfit, I'm drawn to you, sweetheart, as well. So I don't give your could be my mother-in-law and Mary Parfit. I didn't see your comment. Fair enough. I was drawn to your name, so that's funny. Okay, nothing's funny with spirit, so it's all to do with synchronicity.
Mate, you got it like mine. You've got Victoria saying that Mary is mum.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So you've got quite a few.
That's absolutely fine. I do feel there's 4 people on here, but 2 other people that Spirit are telling me, my guides are telling me now, that who haven't owned up. They haven't put a comment on it. So I'm with 4 people because he's doing this, and that's not peace, man, either.
Well, Linda as well can take it, mate.
That was you, Linda. You didn't speak up. That's what my guide said. Okay, there's another one on here who as well hasn't spoken up. It doesn't matter. It's not a competition. But I do feel I've got a gentleman coming in with this lady as well. And I'm also being drawn to music being played. So I don't know whether this gentleman played a musical instrument or he just had the radio or music on in the background as well. My mum was... oh, they're all coming in now. Okay. I'm also getting a... Sorry? Oh, no. Sorry, Rebecca. I'm not with you at the moment. I might be, but we'll come back to that. But he is giving me a music player in the background, this gentleman. I can see an LP player with a needle on the record. And I do feel that this man wants to dance when there's a certain type of music on. I'm getting a guitar. This man has put a guitar in my hands and I want to play the guitar. So I don't know whether this is a connection with him playing the instrument, but he's also telling me about bands, music bands or groups, music, people playing instrument that was in a group that he liked as well. And he's also shown me LP covers as well, that you put the record inside, the sleeves and stuff. He's talking about the Shadows as well. Elvis Presley, he's shouting out music artists for me now as well. So I feel this man would have liked the music in the 60s, that kind of era as well. He's talking at 100 miles an hour. He's also saying the name Jack as well as James as well. He's giving me those names as well. And he's saying he's got a brother, and his brother's with him in spirit as well. And he is the smoker. He's saying he is the smoker. And he's looking at him saying, I wish he gave up smoking, kind of thing. Because he's looking at him like he's not agreeing that he's a smoking. Coming back to this lovely lady, who is, I feel, the polar opposite of this gentleman. She's very calm and straight-laced and very, she'd take her time. I feel she would take her time in doing things. She wouldn't rush things. She's just very gentle soul. Okay, where am I? Okay, could be me as well. Okay, we're all going in. Middle name Jane, son is Jack. Right, okay. Yes, that's fine. Jack is the other person, not his name in spirit, so that we could be there. Wow, we've got loads of people. Used to mess around playing air guitar. No, an actual guitar, Linda. An actual guitar, sorry. It's got to be an actual physical instrument as well. Yeah. Rhonda, yeah, okay. Can you take Mary as the name of Mary Rhonda as well, and also the name of Jane? This lady's saying that she didn't pass quickly. Elvis playing at his funeral. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm not dismissing anyone at the moment because there's a lot of. Also, this lady didn't pass suddenly. She did definitely pass in a much more gentle way. I feel that this lady had circulation problems. She's telling me now. I am getting drawn to her legs. I feel that I've got fluid around my ankles and around my feet. And she's telling me I would have worn tights a lot in her life. I would have worn tights because I feel that I don't want to have bare skin or have my legs or my skin of my legs showing to the elements, because I feel that I want to put tights on. Even she's saying she even had like tights on underneath her trousers, or even tights on when she had a dress on and stuff like that. She's also showing me her shoes as well. Oh yes, which bit? Oh, okay, which bit? Okay. Victoria, are you still following me? If you're not, that's absolutely fine.
Mary Parfitt is.
Mary Parfitt, are you? Okay, that's fine. Fluid in Mary's between you, Mary Parfitt and Rhonda, isn't it?
Yeah,
game show. Okay, right. Okay. This. Yes to tights. Right, so both of you, Rhonda and Mary, can you take the drawings, the artistic paintings that are in the living room in this person's house as well? Not saying your house, I'm saying the loved ones' house when they were physically alive. They're still alive, but in spirit, and they're live and kicking. I feel this gentleman that's with the lady, because they're coming together, is full of energy, full of beans. And he's also talking about his vegetables as well. He's talking about some kind of, whether it's an allotment or a vegetable patch, he's talking about the love of food, the love of eating the right things as well. So I just want to mention that as well. If both of you can take that as well. I'm also dancing while I'm cooking dinner as well, this lady, whether because she's agreeing to the music with this gentleman as well. They're both sort of agreeing with each other's information that are both sharing as well. And also the yes to art paintings, but not to this gentleman. Okay, that's fine. I'm not talking about the gentleman. I just heard the paintings. But if the paintings are in the room, on hang.
Well, Victoria ruled herself out. Now she's put herself back in.
I'm still going with Mary Parfitt and Rhonda. I'm not disputing that, Victoria, but just keep your ears open for me. That would be Mum, was it? Was that?
Yeah, that would be Mum.
Right, that would be Mum. Okay, Mum had paintings in the lounge. Okay, was her name Mary, Victoria? Okay, I still feel I'm with Rhonda. Just not to narrow this down, everyone, because we've got loads, which is lovely. I'm also getting used to use utensils. Yes, Yes, I can hear that as well. This
There's a
gentleman,
delay on here, mate, as well, which is not helping.
this gentleman is a bit of a joker as well. I feel he's got dry humour, and I feel also that he used to sing to his family members, but they used to tell him to shut up because I feel he was like, he thought he was a good singer when he was actually, they didn't think he was that good. So I think he thought he was a bit of a hero, but at singing, but everyone else sort of said, please be quiet. Okay, brilliant. I'm loving the energy of these two. They just complement each other so well. Also, the lady's mentioning a birthday as well. She just put a birthday cake in my hand. I wouldn't be surprised if she could actually make a birthday cake, because I feel she's really talented in the kitchen. So whether it's to do with dinners or cakes or tarts or buns or jam, donuts or whatever, that kind of stuff. Yeah, still not sure with you at the moment. I still need a divisive, I know who I'm with. I'm definitely with you too at the moment.
Mate,
Okay.
mate, I hate to kill this, but you've literally run over about 5 minutes. So, great. Some great information coming.
I've got to get this. The birthday cake, if any, apple pies, Rhonda. Okay, right. Okay, Mary, perfect. Can you take any of this so far? I know you can take a lot of it, but can you take the singing? Well, same with you, Rhonda. Can you take the singing as well as dancing in the kitchen and making food at the same time whilst the music's being played in the background? Right, I think I'm with you then, Rhonda.
Yeah.
Not Mary's. She's out. No to singing. Thanks for that, Mary. Yeah, Holly, it is delayed. Definitely delayed tonight. Okay, Rhonda. Okay, what was the joke about the apple pie? Because there's some kind of joke or something to do with food on someone's face as well. So I don't know if this was a practical joke or an accident or someone getting food wiped across their face. So if you can take this will clinch it. I can definitely hear Blue Suede Shoes being played from Elvis now. So if this was at the funeral or was being played in the house while the gentleman was alive, can you take that as well? It's specifically about the shoes or Blue Suede Shoes and all that.
Mate, we know one.
There we go.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Cream across. I think you're bang on with Rhonda. You can feel the Welsh connection as well with the family.
There's an accent because it's like sing-songy kind of accent, but I'm not saying that because of what you just said. But I feel that I'm singing, even though I am singing as well.
Whenever I connect in with these guys and Stephanie too, I always hear the Tom Jones music.
Elvis at the funeral, brilliant.
Oh yes, and Welsh, but also the Tom Jones music. I always hear Tom Jones.
That's not unusual. I just heard.
Yeah, I was just about to sing that, but I was about to show you how bad my singing voice was.
Oh, so close to singing there.
I know, mate. Shall we start free? I'm joking.
Thanks, Rhonda. Thanks ever so much. We got there in the end.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you, guys. Can I just say a big thank you to Katie, obviously in the back room, for all that's really helped us this week. Also, a massive thanks to Chris and to Nick for coming on the program.
Thanks ever so much, guys.
It's a pleasure.
Really enjoyed this evening, and I knew I would because I was looking forward to this. And we're going to have you on again about all the UFO stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Did you guys see a name that you're attracted to that I can give a free reading to?
All the names that were coming up. Is that what you're asking me on there?
Just go through the list if you can.
Can I run? Let me have a look. Sorry, I don't mean.
Yes, it is, Leah.
Oh, hi, Leah. I just realised. Yeah, hi, Leah. It's good to see you.
I kind of get drawn toward Rebecca Ward.
I don't want to be horrible, to Rebecca, but
well, she's in my development circle,
and I've done
Yeah.
a reading, a free one. So we're
She already have one, isn't she?
gonna have to give it to someone.
We do love you.
I didn't know
really
that.
do.
Yeah, we do. I do love you too, Rebecca. Sorry.
we do. Yeah.
Not on done on purpose.
Sally Spencer.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, we've not done one for Sally before. So Sally, just get in touch with me either on Facebook, I don't mind, or on my website. No problem. And we'll book in a time when we can both meet, and that'd be brilliant. But thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been brilliant. Obviously, we can't do this if you guys are not interested. So thanks for coming along. It's nice to see some new people as well.
Yeah, lovely.
If you missed it, obviously, if you tune in, tune out, sometimes some of you don't want to miss Coronation Street, but that's fine. But if you're coming back in, you can always catch up because it's now on YouTube as well. I've got a YouTube channel. Have you got yours yet, mate?
And it's on replay as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on replay, so you guys can catch up with it as well.
I just want to say a quick thanks to all our lovely guests who are coming on from abroad, Australia, Canada, all of those lovely nations that are coming on tonight and this morning for you guys. So thanks ever so much for tuning in too.
Yeah, it's been brilliant.
Thank you. When we hope to maybe meet some of you at some time, that'd be wonderful.
So we'd like to reach out to anyone who wants to get in touch. Please do.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, it's that time to say goodbye, unfortunately, mate.
Yeah, thanks ever so much, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye.